The year is 1961. The Toyota Publica is introduced in June. It was a pivotal vehicle in Toyota's history, designed as Japan's first true national car. The Publica name is a contraction of public car, selected from over 1 million entries to represent a car for the general public. Designer Tatsu Hasegawa aimed for a practical and lightweight design. The national car goal required a 350 to 500 cubic centimeter engine, top speed of over 100 kilometers an hour, and the ability to travel 100,000 kilometers without major repairs. Toyota installed a 700cc motor to improve highway driving. For power, the Publica had an air-cooled two-cylinder, horizontally opposed boxer overhead valve engine. The Publica didn't sell well upon launch. People wanted larger, aspirational cars, viewing the minimalistic Publica as being cheap or toy-like. The Arii 1961 Toyota Publica is part of the Owners Club series and is molded in 1/32nd scale. Opening the box is a wonderful treat. Here we have more of the cars in the Owners Club, as this little pamphlet here shows. Now this little pamphlet is also the instruction sheet up on this side of it, so we'll take a look at that in a moment. You get some tires in a nice little bag, along with the metal axle here, and the body, as well as the glass. And we also get this one great parts tree that includes the underpan and all the other components, and a little decal sheet. On this side of the instruction sheet, we get to see a full color illustration of all the different box arts and all the different cars that are part of the 1/32nd scale Owners Club. Here we see a Fairlane 2000. Down here we have the Mazda Coupe R360, which I did unbox earlier, as well as Publica itself, Volkswagen Beetles, and even a Daihatsu Miura. Again, lots of really cool models here in the catalog. It would be really cool to collect them all. Looking at the back side of the instruction sheet at the top, we have the 61 Toyota Publica. This is car number 16 in the series. It shows the marking and painting chart here, as well as the front, rear, top, and side profiles of the car. This, of course, is a blueprint. Over on this side, we see the parts tree with all the parts numbered, as well as the clear parts, the metal axle, the 4 tires, and our body. It says cement is not included. You'll also need to paint the model. Most of this is written in Japanese, but does say study instructions thoroughly before assembly. If we zoom in on our blueprint, you can see the 2 different license plates. One says Toyota Publica here, and the other is a Japanese plate with the 3 numbers being 700. So you do have a choice of which license plates you want to use. There are some script decals here as well, and a bit of a color call out here, H8 going on there, which I believe is the cap for the gas tank. Step 1 shows our 2-piece wheel and tire assembly going together, and again we have some paint callouts. There's the tire being sandwiched onto the wheel. It does give you an inner diameter in here, although that is Japanese. And this is looking at the other side. So this would be going with the axle in there, and this is facing the outside of the car. And here it gives you some information about the tire and the wheel itself. Now over in step 2, you can see installing the axle. Basically you have your wheel up against something flat, and then you hammer the axle down. I would say be very careful with this. Out back there's a plastic axle, and this one has a little clip that holds it down. I do believe at one point this would have had a tiny electric motor in it. Some of the Japanese kits come that way, although when they come over to North America, they remove this feature. Step 3 shows the assembly of our interior, and this one is really nice. It reminds me of the Revell Trabant model kit, actually. So here you see that rear axle being installed back here again. Then we have the rear seat going in place over the rear arches. We also have the front seat with the center console, and then a parking brake which goes onto the console, and these get dropped down. There is a little piece going in here, as well as the interior panels. And there you can see the wheels and tires being installed onto the chassis. So very nicely done. And down in this far corner here, I'll just move this up a little, you can see the inner door panel, and it does have some callouts again in Japanese, so we will have to translate this off of the paint chart. Panel 4 shows our dashboard being assembled, and here we've got a little instrument panel decal which goes into place. It does show painting the top of the instrument cluster a different color than the dashboard and steering column and steering wheel. But once you get all these together, then we get into step 5, where the dashboard gets glued up inside the car body. But first, you have to put your glass and your rear view mirror into place, then the dashboard, and you'll have your car ready for the next steps. Step 7 shows the assembly of the lights as well as the trim pieces. So going back here, we have the 2 windshield wipers being installed. We also have 2 rear view mirrors. And Japan didn't put these in like North America, right up by the no draft. They put the mirrors on the fenders, so be mindful of that. Here you have your headlights. Remember, the crosshatch pattern goes north, south, east, and west, as opposed to off at angles, so be careful on that. You have your parking lamps there, or turn signal lights, as well as the front license plate. Out back, we have the oil filler cap. Now this is just a paint call out right here, but we do have the clear taillights, and those would have to be tinted with some red paint. Step 8 is our final step in the assembly process, and it's very straightforward. You have your completed chassis and interior going into the completed body with the dashboard. It does show to put the back in first and then drop it in place in the front. It looks like a little pin that goes into a little post down here. Probably the same on the back, so just be careful as you assemble this. Here we have the body for our Toyota Publica, and you can see just how crisp and clear this casting is. It looks pretty good. Now for 1/32 scale, some of the details may be missing from the real car. Not too sure though, because I haven't seen a real one of these. But overall, it does look good. There's a little bit of flash here and there, but nothing to write home about. There are some mold marks underneath which would have to be taken care of in order for that glass to fit in properly. Since there is no engine detail, I don't think you need to worry about the little mold marks underneath in here, as well as on the inside of the trunk. Definitely the roof though. Look at how great this looks with the little door handle in place. Very cute little car. Got a little bit of a vent right here. Now that might actually go up and down in the real car. I'm not too sure. The front end looks good. It's got a little grille that's molded in place here. Headlights would drop in there, and the turn signal lights. A little notch underneath the bumper here for the license plate to fit in. All that is molded in place. Now out back, a bit of a trim here just to clean up this edge. And there is a parts runner piece right here that would need to be filed down a bit flatter. It's got little hinges on the top of the trunk lid, as well as the gas filler cap right there. So overall, it's not bad. There is a circle right in here, but I do believe that is for an emblem to sit on. But in 1/32 scale, this is quite nice. Notice the mold line around here kicks up on the fenders, which is quite interesting. Interesting that they didn't have one kick up on the front fender here, but that's the way they designed it. So overall, for such a small little car, it looks pretty good. Our parts tree shows the chassis pan right here, and you can see this notch that's cut out here, so that would be the switch for the electric motor that is unfortunately not included in this version of the kit, but you can clearly see where this would all be. Looks like leaf springs right back in here, and up front we've got the oil pan for the 2-cylinder motor. There we have our wheels and our dashboard here, as well as the seats and our door panels, steering wheel. We've got our mirrors, we've got windshield wipers, rear view mirror, steering column, the rear axle, and then these little pieces here, which could be for the plastic axle. Sorry, the metal axle. Looks like that's what they would be. Nope, I don't know. I can't remember what those are. There's the hole for the metal axle, and there's the larger one for the plastic one. There are mold marks up around here. I don't know if you should file those flat or not. Hard to say. There's the door panel, so you can see how great they are. Little pockets for the maps to fit in, as well as the two door handles. Again, very much like the Trabant. There is that tall clip, and that's, again, I think for the back of that engine to sit in. Or maybe there isn't a switch. It's just how they molded that. Now you'll notice that there's no chrome in this kit. You can easily use a mold tool pen in order to paint that. It should look pretty nice. Look at the detailing on the seats. It looks like you could actually sit on there. It isn't hollow in the back of the front seats, but it's very board-like, if you will. There's the dashboard there. You can see where the steering wheel would go down in here. Very nicely done. It is right-hand drive, not left-hand drive like in Canada and North America. But overall, it should look good. Yeah, so what more can I say? There is a bit of flash around here on some of those parts. So cleanup, of course, is always desirable. But overall, for the scale and the complexity, it looks good. Here we have our glass components, which includes the front windshield, side windows, and rear glass. There is a hole for mounting it up in the car, as well as one right here for that rear view mirror. We have our headlights, and they do have a little slot molded in the back so that you can't mess up the north, south, east, west of the light texture. We also have the rear stop lights and the front turn signal lights. Now up and under here you can see there's more mold marks in the four corners, so you would want to flatten those out, and then you can carefully paint in here with your brush. So that would give you a roof color, interior upholstery color. Overall though, this looks quite nice. The glass is not protected by a bag in there, or maybe it was, I can't remember. But overall, I think my example is pretty scratch-free. So again, really nice work. Here we have our tires as well as the aluminum axle, and these are molded onto the parts tree, as you can see here, so you have to cut them off and clean them up a bit. The tires are generic, but they look good because they have the pie crust ridge around the outside, and the tread pattern is basically the lines that roll this way, just like on the real car. These tires are 1/32 scale, and they are a bit squishy, so they'll be able to fit on those little wheels very nicely. Here we have the Publica decal sheet, and unfortunately mine looks like it crazed because all these emblems look very crunched, and you can see lines that are like squishing up along in here, and those are cracks. So I do believe this would disintegrate if I put it in the water. So hopefully yours aren't that bad. We've got a little number 16, which would be the kit number. We have a Toyota Publica license plate, as well as a Japanese one in the illustration. Got PC right here, Publica, and there's the instrument panel, the Toyota emblem, as well as Toyota side scripts, and then a Bardal racing flag right here. Now I don't know if that was actually part of anything or if that's just part of the decal sheet itself. However, I do know that I don't think I can use this, which is really sad because these little emblems here would have made the car, especially the instrument panel. Well, I hope you enjoyed that look at our 1961 Toyota Publica made by Arii in 1/32 scale. These kits are really cool. They are really tiny though, so if you're into collecting and building and you have a small space, this model kit might be just perfect for you. If you enjoyed this video, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and consider becoming a member. Members get to see my videos in months or even days before they are published, so if that interests you and you want to get ahead of the game, click that join button down below, and you'll also help me out too, because your little contribution helps this channel to grow. So until next time, everybody, happy model building, and we'll see you in the next video.